Hello, Prudential Sales Executives, for our video message of the week. All right, this week's message is entitled Email, Communication, and Caution. Now, many of you probably have heard of the Ben Franklin. We list a little bit of the pluses and a little bit of the minuses, and that's what I want to do here today. And what I hope that you'll get out of today's message is how intertwined these pluses and minuses can be. All right, let's get started. First of all, why do we use email? And by the way, you might have other items. I'm going to go through some. You might have others. But these are some of the ones that I think are closest to my heart that I see a lot of you deal with on a day-to-day basis. All right, so number one, it's quick and easy. You know, you can shoot an email. God, it's so quick and easy. You know what? That absolutely can be true. But I want you to know that works on both sides. What else is it quick and easy for people to do? Well, delete it. It's that much easier not to pay attention. It's that much easier not to worry about that. And what you have to do is you have to hope that the other person receiving this email is putting it at an importance level, okay, the same level that you are. And I promise you, and I think you already know this, not everyone will do that. In fact, sometimes you'll send a very urgent email of what you see as urgent, and someone else may not see that. All right? Next, it saves time. All right, it saves time. Well, sometimes we utilize email in a saving time fashion that we really shouldn't. For example, prospecting. Email, in my personal opinion, should not be used to prospect. It can be used to follow up prospecting or to give an initial message of prospecting to come. But for those of you in our business who are using email on a constant basis just to throw it out there and prospect would not be, okay, something that I would advise you to do. Now, I know what some of you might be saying. Well, you know what? I've got real business by throwing that out there. You can do anything and get some business from it. It's not the point. The key is I want you to think about how can I utilize email and what I should be doing on an individual basis to increase that capture. So I'm not saying don't email. What I'm saying is don't expect it. If the only way you prospect is that email aspect or a lot of passive, I promise you, you can increase that by putting in some proactive actions along with that email. Okay? Don't forget this too. Emails get lost. All right? You send something out and people just don't see it. Okay? Have you ever had to send an email once, twice, 3 times? Because I didn't get that one. Well, they either really didn't get it, they deleted it, or you know what, they got busy and it got lost in the mass of emails that they're receiving. All right, next. When people use email, all right, and this can be a pro or a con, it avoids direct confrontation. Now, sometimes you'll be sending that email because that's exactly what you want to do. You want to avoid direct confrontation. And that can be okay, but that also can be the exact challenge of why you're having, okay, that confrontation. You know what? Some confrontation is good. And sometimes you have an issue that it's just better off picking up the phone and dealing with it instead of going up and back. Goes back to the saving time aspect. No longer are you saving time. Now you're sitting there thinking about what I'm going to say in this email to get back to the 7 emails that they sent, that you sent, and it goes round and round. And not only do you waste time, but you never solve anything until someone picks up the phone and communicates and confronts and has that confrontation to solve an issue that's going on. All right? A real pro is it logs comments and it logs comments for verification. That's really good. Well, you know what? I didn't get that information. No, I emailed it to you on the 5th. You have that information, and I have the backup email that I sent it to you and that you received it. In fact, I've even got comments back from you from that email. So I know that you received it. That's a good thing. Keep in mind, sometimes that same verification can work against you because you know what? You weren't thinking it through totally and you sent out an email that when it's read, okay, separate from what you're going through at the time, can really be taken out of context and now used against you. And in some ways you say to yourself, wait a minute, that wasn't the intention. That's not what I was saying. And now you throw yourself in a justification situation. And why are you having to justify yourself? Because a portion of a message that's being misconstrued is being used against you. We see that happen. Again, if you would have picked up the phone in certain scenarios and just said, hey, I need to communicate this. What a great way to verify simple stuff that can't be misconstrued. It just is. Did you receive this? Yes, thank you. I will sign this addendum and it will be sent over. Great. Easy way. You have verified that you sent the information out. Maybe it's the addendum itself. The addendum speaks for itself. Email is a way to communicate that addendum. All right. Last couple items here. Lost communication nuances. Got to be real careful when you communicate on email, because guess what? What you were feeling that day and what you meant to say within that, those nuances can get lost in email. And someone may take what you wrote because they don't get the feel from you, maybe not in the same way that you meant to deliver that. All right? That could be certainly a con to utilizing that email in sensitive issues. Another great reason to pick up that phone. And then, a great opportunity for email is you can communicate to masses, okay, much more easily, all right? Not that you're spamming it out, but let's say you want to get to a specific group with a specific message. You can send that out. Great opportunity. Let's say to your sphere of influence, you're having a get-together, all right? You want your host sphere to know about it. What a great opportunity. It's an invite. There's nothing specific here. It's an invite. Should that invite be followed up with a phone call too? In my book, that's another prospecting opportunity that talking to that person can be an additional support to you to increase the amount of people to come to that specific event. Email's out there as a tool for you. Make sure you're using that tool in the right way that it was supposed to be used. An adjunct and additional support, okay, to a normal one-on-one communication, or for that matter, a group communication. Have a great week, everybody. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.